Corporate strategy. The definition of corporate strategy. Overall strategies that diversify a company into a mix or combination of some business in a multiple industry environments to embrace them. It involves the different ways of integration and coordination that strategies have to in the individual business unit. Within these strategies, there are four diversification strategies: diversification, unrelated diversification, vertical interaction, and related diversification. Why is it important? Firms use corporate level strategies as means to grow revenues and profits. These strategies help companies select new strategic positions that are expected to increase value. Moreover, effective firms can evaluate growth options before committing resources. This strategy is concerned with what products and business the firm should compete in and how this headquarters should manage said business. Diversification relates to spreading out business so that they can work simultaneously in different industries or within the same industry to have a bigger portfolio. These strategies refer to when a company proceeds with growth and development and expands to different markets. This strategy is basically exploring new possibilities but also helps amplify sales and profitability. When does it happen? When a company is doing business at a unit level and it enlarges into a new segment of the industry. The diversified company reach a different scope in the business and reach a corporate level. It is pursued to increase cost effectiveness with more sales. Within the levels of diversification, there are low, medium, and high levels. Benefits of diversification. Expand business growth. This is the one of the main reasons that they seek for a bigger growth rate represented in productivity, sales, or revenue. These factors act as performance measurements. Maximum utilization of resource. Related to the equipment and material that remain unused and will be available to develop a new business. To find attractive industries refers to the intention to reach new business and customers as it helps the company increase the chances of merger and acquisitions. Mitigate market risk, as company can be more secure in times of volatility or downturn. With multiple products, one can afford to lose sales and the company won't suffer equally as bad.
Low diversification. The definitions. Well, this level operate its actions mostly on single or dominant industries. Refers to when a company is in a single business and has a revenue better than 95% of the sales. In the prevailing industry, 70% to 95% of the revenue means that the company is dominant. Moderate to high levels of diversification. Well, the definitions refers to companies that fall that indebted in related constrained or related linked. Related constrained means that less than 70% of revenue comes from the dominant business, and subdivisions share products, technology, and distribution channels. One example is P&G, Procter & Gamble. Related linked diversifications means that less than 70% of the revenues come from dominant business, but there are limited links within the subdivisions. One example is Johnson & Johnson. High level of diversification. Definition refers to companies that have less than 70% of revenues in the dominant business but have no common links in subdivisions.
Well, relate diversification. To start the definition, one of these is occurs when a firm moves to a new industry with similarities to existing one. Basically, it means that the firm is expanding to a somewhat familiar and known industry as their current activities match the future ones. The second, the films engage in this to develop a core competency. This means the company expands to somewhat no territory to exploit a capability to become more successful. Therefore, they have skill sets that are difficult for competitors to imitate but are enjoyed by customers. They provides potential to attain synergies by exchanging skills. And in this one, the business must have skills or resources that are exportable to another company or business, and therefore it is essential to have them identified. And for example, the Disney acquisition of ABC, this is because both film and television are related in aspects of entertainment but also production. In this slide, we have the types and they relate by resources. Is the firm can utilize same resources in the new industry. They relate by products. There are similar products to current ones being produced, and they relate by customers. Is the diversification covers the same customer base. And in this slide, the benefits and the potential to share resources. In this part, key resources and capabilities of the firm can be utilized in a new area, potentially giving to the firm a competitive advantage relative to other firms that may not base on comparable resources. The potential to increase an economic of scale, and the same machinery, for example, can be shared in the new area, allowing the fixed cost of the machinery to be spread over a larger number of products produced. The potential to create new products, and in this part combining the capabilities of the original business areas with new capabilities of the related area that the firm has diversified into may allow a brand new third area to be expanded into relaying both original capabilities. The potential to share distribution channels, because the existing distribution channel for the company can make it easier to launch relate product than can be sold alongside the original one, and the potential to charge a higher price. We combine under one brand, and the products may be more valuable, and potentially able to integrate well with each other and function better than if they were produced by separate companies.
Vertical integration. This strategy describes the process of entering activities where the organization is its own supplier or customer. This involves operating at another stage of the value network and considers both vertical integration and disintegration in the form of outsourcing mostly. The company increases its scope to involve more or less value network. Because it involves bringing together other value networks, diversification can also be described as horizontal integration. Vertical integration is preferred as it captures more profits. Since the company complies with more than one step of the value chain, it means bigger margin of earnings. However, it's important to be aware of the dangers. This strategy involves interment and different strategic capabilities. Firstly, expensive investments in activities that are less profitable than the original one will be unattractive because it has reduced rate of investment. Additionally, the degree of relatedness can cause more need for strategic capabilities
so that growth appreciation of all can be achieved. And for last, this can lead to disintegration, not taking into account the growing appreciation of both the risk of investments and capabilities that can affect the companies and their value network. There are two types of integration. The first one is the backward integration, and it refers to the development of activities that involve the inputs into the company's business. For example, acquisition by a car manufacturer of a component supplier will be a backward integration. The second one, the forward integration, and it's based on the development of activities that are concerned with the outputs of the company's business. For a car manufacturer, it will be into car retail, repairs, and services. When is the integration used? It is used to eliminate middlemen. Firms sometimes are able to execute the task being performed by the middleman and will receive additional products. However, this might be risky as they might not be as effective. Unless a firm is equally efficient in producing the service, it might result in lost sales.
Unrelated diversification. Definitions refers to the lack of commonality in the markets, distribution channels, technical, and more. Basically, as its name states, there are at least two lines of business. If it refers to going into markets that are not connected to the company's activities, as there is no relatedness between the resource capabilities, customers, or others. One example of that is the Coca-Cola Company purchased Columbia Pictures for 705 millions. This price allows companies to make strategic business units. These units are represented in different areas to the one the company is active to better allow companies to organize their business into several units. Unrelated diversification allows companies to expand operations since companies are not focusing on similar markets or similar products. This can be beneficial as it allows for revenue streams to open up apart from the exciting one. Why is it done? The managed allocated cash flow. It can allow a balance of cash flows among the units. It may reduce the need to raise debt or equity beyond the merger of cash. Entering on a business with high prospect. It can be done via entering high growth business areas, meaning industries that are growing fast or expected to. And the last one, reducing risk. This is done to stop the reliance on one single product line by entering a different business with different earnings.